Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard if you're brand new, welcome back if you're not, and welcome home if that fits perfectly for you. Today we want to talk about what's up for the week of Monday, June 17th through the 23rd of June, 2024. We want to talk a little bit about the astrology. We want to talk about the energy. We want to grab a little bit of insight from the tarot. As always, let's get right in. Monday starts with a Libra moon. That moon is going to trine Mercury, which is still in Gemini. We have a lot of action in the very wee hours of the morning. Soon after that, Venus is going to move into Cancer. That Libra moon is going to quincunx Neptune, which plays a huge role this week. So let's pay attention to that. The moon moves into Scorpio. The Scorpio moon will trine Venus. Mercury, still in Gemini, squares Neptune, and then Mercury moves into Cancer as well. That Scorpio moon will square Pluto in retrograde. And then Mercury and Venus will conjunct at 0 degrees Cancer. And the Scorpio moon will quincunx Jupiter, oppose Mars, and then Mercury quincunxes Pluto. Why, thanks. We'll take that. All this action, right? Remember that Neptune is at 29 degrees of Pisces. So look, Monday, the possibilities are endless is absolutely a truth, right? But the lure of this can feel very false today, very canned, very empty. The intensity of the energy is really at swell, right? Illusions are feeling a little bit predatory right now. So the other side of the scale is a deep need to feel safe, right? With this energy moving into Cancer and then involving Pluto in retrograde. That's okay. These instincts are absolutely at odds with the energy. So all of your communication methods might feel a little bit lacking. You might feel like what you're receiving is also false or phony. So that's a both ways, right? Pay attention to that back and forth. And don't be afraid to let silence speak volumes, right? That might be the only thing that feels soothing or substantial. On Tuesday, the 18th, Venus quincunxes Pluto early in the morning. And then that Scorpio moon is going to, why thank you, trine Saturn and quincunx Chiron. Pay attention to what you witness as the line between psychological and psychotic. The space that is occupied between the two can be a lot wider than you'd imagine, right? Be prepared to either tend to your to-do list or to step in to do some deep work, right? You can choose. You might choose to do both. That's okay. Remember, what you leave undone will come back, right? So choose wisely. On Wednesday, the 19th, the Scorpio moon will oppose, Uranus, quincunx the sun, and trine Neptune. And then the moon will move into Sagittarius. After that, the moon will sextile Pluto, will quincunx both Mercury and Venus, and then oppose Jupiter. You have some options, right? You have some options on Wednesday. The deal is there's an increased energetic capacity to tackle the reality of life's shifts and changes or the distraction. So if you get lured or embedded by the sideshow, the glamour, right? That can keep you out of touch with what's actually important. Again, choose wisely. It is super important this week, especially with that 29-degree Neptune having so much to do with our personal planets. On Thursday, the 20th, that Sag moon is going to quincunx Mars. The Gemini sun will square Neptune, and the sun moves into Cancer, right? Happy solstice. At 3:51 p.m. Central Time. The Sag moon then squares Saturn. So your self-assessments meet up with the light of reality, okay? Cancer season, yes. So become disillusioned, right? Become disillusioned, free of illusions. This is what is here and now. This is our light that is welcoming us at solstice. After a little contracting, right, to work on the emotional side of those awarenesses, you will be able to see clearly the needed action steps to turn it all around, right? A big deal, a big deal. So make sure that you are paying attention. On Friday, the 21st, that Sag moon is going to trine Chiron quincunx Uranus. And then Mercury is going to sextile Mars. The Sag moon will square Neptune and then move into Capricorn. And at 8:08 p.m. Central Time, we have our first Capricorn full moon of this cycle at 1 degree Capricorn. So this is about new truths, new stories, shifts and changes that feel almost effortless right now. Your process of expression can absolutely put things in motion that might have been only dreams once, right? That might have felt absolutely impossible. Stay in your truth and let the doing follow from there, right? This full moon squares Neptune, and it's really going to allow for a full rewrite if you take that opportunity. On Saturday, the 22nd, the Capricorn moon will quincunx Jupiter, will oppose Venus, and then the sun will quincunx Pluto. The moon trines Mars and opposes Mercury. And also Mercury squares the moon's nodes, right? Important to know. Hyperrealism is absolutely demanding that you explore it at depth. You cannot miss what's there. So the balance of home, right? And we talk about home as your experience, what you see, what you taste, what you smell. Yes, thank you. Is absolutely a continuous process of creation, and it's calling you to action again and again. So your need to self-protect is absolutely counter to the requirement of your evolution. So not that I haven't said it already, but I will say it again here. Choose wisely, because the snapback could be unpleasant. On Sunday, the 23rd of June, that Capricorn moon is going to sextile Saturn, square Chiron, nice, trine Uranus, sextile Neptune, and then move into Aquarius at the end of the day. So here's the deal. The world might seem like it's a buffet, right? And you're kind of approaching it like a picky eater. The old stories might show up as real limitations if you do not consciously keep your doors open, right? So make sure that your availability of options is everything that you want it to be, because it is, right? You are the chooser. You are in choosing mode. So choose again wisely, right? Choose wisely. Yeah. There we go. Ooh, I like it. All right, let's talk. On Monday, we have the Hanged Man and the Ace of Wands. Lovely energy, right? A shift in perspective that will absolutely be inspired. So we talk about this as the day that is, the possibilities are endless, but witnessing that things could feel false, things could feel a little bit phony, a little bit empty. Very intense though, right? You're shifting perspective, you're not quite sure, but it feels like you want to do this one part of the thing. How do you feel safe? Well, it might be that you feel safe in a way you've never tried to feel safe before. It may be that if you're looking to communicate, you have to just let silence speak, right? It might be that you have to allow for the space between the idea and its manifestation. There's nothing you can do except be a little bit willing to take that divine perspective, to witness what it can do in your life and allow for that space between, right? Whether or not it comes right now, it will come. On Tuesday, you have the Lovers and the Chariot. What a beautiful card, right? So we're talking about balanced motion. We're talking about the way that we're going forward, right? And taking our divine perspective into perspective and making sure that everything we're doing is balanced, right? We talked about this as the line between psychological and psychosis. Remember that the Lovers is the elevated version of the devil energy. And so if we're talking about the 3D on one side and the divine perspective on the other, this is a reminder, stay together, right? Stay in balance. So we talked about that as definitely really minding your to-do list or doing some deep diving, whatever that is, and making sure that you understand that if you're veering off course, there will be another choice that has to be made to get back in. So choose wisely, choose that highest perspective. Yeah, absolutely. With all these majors and aces, definitely please be paying attention to that. Those are opportunities gifted to you. On Wednesday, you have the Page of Swords and another ace, right? The Ace of Cups. So we're talking again about ideas, things that come in and then have to be put into motion. Your options, of course, tackle that reality of your shifts and changes, or be lured by the distraction. Coming back to your heart space is the most important. You can think a thing, you can witness a thing, but you have to utilize that sort of truth to come back to what's real, what's important. Again, you're being asked to choose wisely. Things that come into your periphery, if they're not in alignment with your heart, you might just want to let them go, right? What's important is what's important, and that doesn't change. That doesn't change at all. On Thursday, we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords, right? So we're waiting, and this waiting creates kind of a challenge. We're talking about self-assessments, right? Meeting up with the light of reality. If you find yourself not making progress that you feel like you should, you see me air quoting, should make, you got to let that go, right? You have to become disillusioned. You have to become free of illusions. You have to absolutely allow yourself to contract, to work on those emotional awarenesses, and then see through what has to happen, right? Seven of Pentacles is dedicated to the right path no matter what, even if there's some anxiety around it, even if it feels challenging, even if it feels hard or scary or any of those things, uncomfortable, right? The waiting is what you're being asked to do because the universe knows where you're going, right? So do you, honestly. Let's be real. On Friday, the 21st, you have the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. Okay, so all of this concept of scarcity, of what you're missing out on, of anything that is lacking for you is being moved out of your life, right? What is important is what's important. It's that simple. It is a time to witness new truths and new stories. It's a time to allow for shifts and changes, understanding that the way we're grounded is always the way we're grounded, making sure that we're putting those things in motion that we've always dreamed of, and letting go of the limitation, the concept of scarcity, the concept of there's not enough for me, I can't do that. Well, I think you can. And I think the universe is trying to explain to you, indeed, you can do all those things, right? If you're willing to let go of the concept of what's missing, you can have everything in its place. But you have to be willing to let go of that. On Saturday, you have the Three of Swords and the Sun. This is a really interesting pairing, right? So we're talking about this also as the day that Mercury is squaring the nodes. And the Sun is quincunxing Pluto. So really witnessing the balance of home and the process that it is, right? We're not stuck and stagnant at this point of contact. This is just a place. This is just a witnessing. This is just an awareness. It's how you choose to center yourself and move forward, right? Your evolutionary requirements require you to move through things that feel uncomfortable or unpleasant, but making sure that we're always in motion, making sure that we understand that there's nothing here that's real. What's real is your overarching spirit. What's real is your soul and the progress that it demands. We can get caught up, right? We can get caught up in those places, right? Those moments that cause us discomfort, that cause us anxiety, or we can witness what we're being asked to do in that moment and move forward, right? Call us to action again and again and again to move in transition, which is all we ever are, right? On Sunday, we have the High Priestess and the Ten of Cups. Intuitively, you already understand what it is that you require and what you don't require. The way that you choose to get caught up in old stories or machinations create the limits that keep you stuck, right? They keep you out of this absolute joy. You have so many opportunities this week in particular to choose wisely, to choose joy, to choose legacy, to choose happiness, to choose freedom, to choose independence, right? Remember, Pluto is in retrograde, and right now, the key here is to really witness the way that we have opportunity to free ourselves of our old stories. Use your intuition. Use your intuition. You don't have to be stuck in the past. You don't have to be stuck in the 3D. You don't have to be stuck in anxiety. You can keep choosing and choose again, right? Your life is your church. You are your own sacrament, right? You are your own process of holiness. And every single step you take is sacred if you choose to let it be that, right? And if you choose not to, that's okay too. That's just more stuff you get to work on. We have number 19, Waking the Lion. How lovely is that, right? Number 19, I like it. Let's see what this oracle has to say to us. Key concepts here. Boldness, the courage to move forward even without knowing the way, facing that which is difficult or painful, the audacity to step into the unknown. Okay, I like it. Regardless of the outer conditions right now, you can't wait for your fear to lessen before you move forward. Well, no kidding. In fact, despite the chaos and seeming disarray, you must be bold. Whatever your trepidation, act as if you have deep trust that all will be well. Indeed. Nothing is promised to you, but you will never truly see magic if you don't take the risk. Come to the edge of the certainty in your life and leap into the unknown. You have no guarantees of immediate success. Still, you must summon your bravery in the face of possible pain, failure, or even success and your own power. The act of making this leap, no matter the final outcome, awakens the lion within. Be proud of who you are and who you are becoming. No one can take this away from you. What type of courage is called for today? Only you know, and only you have the power to choose your path. Know that it takes as much strength and bravery to love and be vulnerable as it does to confront a personal challenge or physical obstacle. So call on your strength and stand your ground, or consciously temper your emotional reactions. Do nothing and trust in your partnership with the divine. Whatever your choice, you will not fail as long as you act with courage and integrity. Again, if this week's theme is anything, it is choose wisely. And I love that it's reflected right here, right? Choose wisely, choose the elevated, choose the highest, or don't. And again, suffer those consequences. Remember that everything you leave undone in this beautiful, brilliant time where we get to become disillusioned, right? The things that we leave behind, the illusions that we carry forth, the nonsense stories we still have wrapped up in our core are the things that are going to come back to get us. We are building toward some big shifts and changes in the skies, in the energy. Right now is the time to scrub those veils away, those windows. Get it clean, right? Come clean. This is what we're doing now. Choose wisely, right? Take care, guys.